Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to Watchbox, and thanks for logging on. If you love this vintage Omega Seamaster, email me, tmosso@thewatchbox.com. It's in the description, tmosso@thewatchbox.com, the direct service line for this and any watch you see for sale here on Watchbox Reviews. Okay, this watch requires some explanation at length because this is a true vintage piece and one of the few radium dials I've had the pleasure of hosting on my wrist. What you're looking at is the first generation Omega Seamaster 300, also known as the first Omega dive watch. Released in 1957, it came after the 1948 debut Seamaster, which was a water-resistant all-around men's watch. This, the Seamaster 300, was Omega's first true dive watch. 38.5 millimeters in stainless steel. This is a 1959 CK2913-5. That's the reference. I believe there were 8 of these, and the -5 is what you see here. The timepiece, 13.9 millimeters thick with domed plexiglass, originally water resistant to 200 meters, but do not push your luck today. That's not what vintage watches from the 50s are about anymore. 48 millimeters lug-to-lug. You can see it features a minimally beveled, squared-off lug profile associated with these early watches, and a 19 millimeter spacing between the lugs. The timepiece was part of a family, the CK2913, that was both the first Seamaster diver and produced from 1957 through early 1962, but the strap is not vintage. It is an Omega factory calfskin strap with sheer cut sides showing layers of construction and a contrasting binding stitch, along with a vintage-inspired modern-day Omega pin buckle. Again, all factory parts, but not original to 1959. That is for the case, the bezel, the dial, the hands, the movement. As you can see, this is very much like the CK2998 Speedmaster case. You've seen a lot of those in re-editions recently, so you have a good sense of where this shape comes from. Well, before they had that professional style, lyre style lug, the Seamaster and the Speedmaster shared a shape much like this. As you can see, this one is historically correct, but it has been worn over the years. It's probably been refinished once or twice. Nevertheless, all of the original character lines and most of the metal remains. You can see the watch also features its original correct Naiad crown, which was a quirky 1950s through late 1960s Omega experiment with alternative water resistance technology. It has a little tri-spoke at the center designed to symbolize its triple resistance to, and I'm not making this up, magnetism, pressure, and moisture. Again, I would not test the theory 60 years later, but it works well and it looks the part. It's also period correct. As you can see, things were different in 1959. The year Cadillac tail fins reached their apex, your dive watch would feature a bi-directional rotating dive bezel, and that would be correct. Again, don't dive with this watch today, but you can still actually use that bezel as an impromptu 60-minute timer, and as you can see, it's a little bit quirky compared to a modern diver because it features a count-down bezel rather than a count-up bezel as you move clockwise. The dial of the watch is not perfect, but it is historically correct, and that's far more important on a vintage diver. Now, this is an Omega plexiglass. You can see the little Omega logo over the cannon pinion. It has some scratches, but again, we're going with originality. The timepiece with the broad arrow hour hand, the original Seamaster 300 script, Omega logo and marquee, tri-Arabics, and yes, I believe this is an original radium dial. I haven't put it to a Geiger counter, but the appearance of the dial as well as the data manufacturer of the watch do match the period for use of radium on the Seamaster 300s. Now you'll note there is some staining on the dial. It does show some signs of age. It's more visible under severe lighting, and it's not the kind of thing you'll notice when the watch is just being read on your wrist, but truth in advertising, I want you to see what you're getting. Now, under the case back, I have to say the Omega manufacturer caliber 501 is in excellent condition. Right here, you can see that this case back has been retained with its original personalization, original over museum quality and time capsule condition here. We're keeping everything as it arrived in 1959. This watch features a Huguenin Frere case made by Omega supplier of the time, Huguenin Frere, and it was made in Loloc for Omega by Huguenin Frere. It features their HF signature internally within the caseback. Now, the watch uses that caliber 501 automatic. It has rose gold plating on it, or that copper coloration, and it is a 19,800 vibration per hour beat rate automatic with a 46-hour power reserve, so that 19.8 Beat rate is very vintage, and you can see why this long seconds hand is chugging along, because it beats at 19,800 vibrations per hour like a Rolex caliber 1570, for example. Now the watch, of course, is the 20 joule version of the 501, so again, know exactly what you're getting. Automatic winding, 46-hour power reserve, stately beat rate, and though the watch is on a modern Omega factory strap, we do have the original Omega 7077 bracelet manufactured in the fourth quarter of 1959 with the number 6 end links. You can see this comes with the watch because it offers rather less sizing and adjustability than the strap. We're putting the watch on the strap, but there is nothing fundamentally defective about the bracelet or the end links. You will get both when you purchase the watch. Once more, historical fabric and integrity of historical fabric is our goal here. The timepiece is not in mint condition. It's not designed to be a sub for your modern day Seamaster 300, or for that matter, for your sub. This is a watch to add to an important vintage collection, a true landmark Omega, the first ever professional diver from one of the most important brands in the history of luxury and high horology. This is a sports watch for the ages, a sports watch you can purchase by emailing tmosso@thewatchbox.com.